These are some of the reasons state police will fail in Nigeria. State police will fail in the same way that Nigeria's security forces have failed to eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community. Despite incorporating some vigilantes and local hunters, Boko Haram Muslim community has not been eradicated since 2009 till date 2025, a period of 16 years. Likewise, state police will fail in Nigeria in the same way that Nigeria's security forces have failed to arrest herdsmen terrorism since it started in earnest in 2015 till date, a period of more than 10 years. And why have Nigeria's security forces failed to eradicate the Boko Haram Muslim community and arrest herdsmen terrorism? Basically, the reason is governmental policies and actions. Yeah. Take the case of Boko Haram Muslim community. A community protesting Boko Haram. Abuse of Western education to perpetrate haram. Responsible for the gross underdevelopment of Nigeria and worsening mass abject poverty. And the community was not violent. So, governmental injustice against the community. Rather than addressing the issue of abuse of Western education to perpetrate haram, the rulers took up arms against the community. So, it should not be your prayer that government will defeat Boko Haram or eradicate Boko Haram. We should be a conscience of the nation. That community should be the conscience of Nigeria, saying stop abusing Western education to perpetrate haram. Then, herdsmen terrorism. What sense does it make to be grazing cattle in agrarian fields? So, these are fundamental issues. And of course, herdsmen terrorism started in earnest in 2015 when the herders became empowered with AK-47. Who introduced AK-47 to them? Or was AK-47 a new development in 2015? Sophisticated weapons have been there for ages. Not started in this century, not to talk of 2015. The First World War, the Second World War, sophisticated weapons were used. Even the colonial masters who conquered our ancestors used sophisticated weapons unknown to our ancestors. So, who introduced AK-47 to the herdsmen terrorists? So, you have to see that if you want to the security forces to succeed, there must be fundamental justice. Social sanity must be there. And there is no sanity in abuse of state power against a religious community that was not violent. There's no social justice in grazing of cattle in agrarian fields, supported by Nigeria's rulers. So, and another proof that state police will not work, probably I've said it, that Nigeria's security forces sought or included in their operations local hunters and vigilante experts that joined them, recruited, yes, that's the word I was looking for, recruited local hunters and vigilante experts in Borno State and other places. Yet, the Boko Haram Muslim community is still breeding. The armed bandits are still there, even mushrooming. Government has killed thousands of them. Government has killed hundreds of them. Where are they coming from? What is their population? Deception galore. Another reason state police will not work. When you abuse your power and you perpetrate injustice and you are expecting societal sanity, where will you get it? Where will you get it? Okay, in some states, you like Kwara State, you make the emir an Islamic title to be the chairman of African traditional rulers. Fundamental injustice. So that any traditional ruler who is not loyal to the emir is not promoted and can be denied his rights and entitlements for being disloyal to the emir, an Islamic title. Fundamental injustices like that. Or even that the constitution stipulates there shall be no state religion, but you decide to make Islam and Christianity Nigeria's religions, to the extent of imposing a jihadist war on the nation. Jihadist war on a community that was peaceful until government took up arms against it. Economic justice. Don't let us beat about the bush. Corruption, unbridled corruption, official corruption, to the extent of declaring that the non-existent fuel subsidy is gone as an excuse to escalate fuel price beyond anybody's imagination, any normal person's imagination. And also that all other subsidies are gone, leaving nothing for the people to enjoy as an oil-producing country. Fundamental injustices like that, religio-politically and economically. State police, get local government police, even get individual households police. They would not guarantee security because of fundamental injustices, governmental injustices, abuse of power to suppress the people, to exploit the people while relying on security forces. You are joking. Yes, you are joking. No justice, no peace. is a maxim that cannot be faulted except for self-deception. State police, local government police. We have tried it in Borno State. They have tried it in Zamfara State, in Katsina State, and other places. Incorporating local hunters and vigilante experts, to no avail, because the injustices are not addressed. So government must address its policies and actions for sanity to prevail. But as long as you are imposing Islam and Christianity on the nation, to the extent of declaring all subsidies gone except funding pilgrimage boards and subsidizing pilgrimages, just to use that as a typical example of fundamental, horrible injustices. Abuse of power, religio-politically and economically, impoverishing the people. A nation blessed with petroleum reduced to a nation of hungry people. A nation of hungry people. And we still have people praising the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu for removing the non-existent fuel subsidy and declaring all other subsidies gone without living wage pay to workers, and without funding education, without funding electricity, without funding infrastructure, yet sinking Nigeria in worse debts than hitherto. So what is the future? What is the present and future of Nigeria, even as we are now, as Nigeria is now? Than to expect sanity, societal sanity. You can't get it. What you will get is what you are getting. Mushroomy and bandits, trying to deprive people who have of what they have, kidnap them to get what they want. If they cannot loot, because they do two things: loot, kill, or attack to loot, and kidnap to get ransom. That's what Nigeria has become. Young people of Nigerians, let me tell you, Nigeria was not known for terrorism until 2009, when Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, as Nigeria's president, declared war on the Boko Haram Muslim community, perpetrated by Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan, perpetrated by Muhammadu Buhari, and now by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is the history of terrorism in Nigeria. 2009 till date. Nigeria got her independence in 1960, fought a civil war between 1967 and 1970, a period of 3 years. We have been warring with Boko Haram for 16 years. So those of you who are drunk with Islam and Christianity, they don't have anything for you than exploitation in church and mosque and society, as it were. So, as long as you, I've been saying it, as long as you continue to troop to church and mosque in search of God that is in your heart, that is in your life, that is in your house, that is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, going to look for him in church and mosque. Foreign religions, I don't know what they are selling. Propagating God that is self-propagating. If you don't know God, God will show himself to you and you will say, what? He will disclose his mystery to you and you will be amazed. You don't need any preacher to know God. That's the fact of the case. You don't. It's self-propagating. Because you will see misery and you will say, oh my God. That's the truth. Those that they tag as what do they call them? The people who they atheists. They may not be atheists. They may just have aversion to religion, with particular reference to Christianity and Islam, which they have come to see to be full of deception. An angel brought a book from heaven, or that a virgin woman gave birth to God, things like that, and took away human sins, which it is not. So for that reason, they may stay out of religion, but they are not atheists. That's the truth. Some people call themselves atheists, but by the time God reveals his reality to them, you will not be there. That's the fact of the case. This world is full of mystery, which nobody in his or her right mind can deny. So even when somebody says there is no God, he says that at that moment, but that's not the end of his or her life. Yeah. God, for all I know. And why do you think most people all over the world believe in God? It's for what I'm saying, because it's a self-propagating God. Is the creator of creatures and makes himself known to the creatures in his own way. No foreigner introduced God to me. I knew God before I was indoctrinated to become a Christian in primary school, at primary school age. So for you, your parents are Christians or Muslims? For me, no. Luckily, none of the above. I was born into African traditional religion, of which I'm still proud. For me, for Africans, religion is a celebration, festival, outside of which the rest is prayer. God guide our going, our coming, our undertaking, our sleeping, our waking. So, religion has become your God, as Christians and Muslims. Yet God is God and is not looking for anything but love, justice, fairness, mercy, compassion. Where do you get it in Christianity and Islam? No. They are not asking for all that. They are asking for you accepting Jesus as your Lord and Savior and coming to church. Accepting Prophet Muhammad as the messenger of God, and accepting the Quran as a book written by God. Oh my God.